It's a shocking statistic with an even more surprising conclusion.
In fact, there's 250,000 people in Washington state who have eating disorders, and only 10% of those are actually find treatment.
1, 2, 3. It's a pattern that these folks want to change.
It's really striking how little treatment there is.
Jillian Lampert is the Director of Communications, Outreach, and Research with the Emily Program, an eating disorder treatment program that began in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Eating disorders are much more complex and lethal than one might initially think.
And eating disorders have the highest mortality rate of any psychiatric illness. People die from eating disorders.
Dr. Dirk Miller had established eating disorder treatment programs in the Minnesota area, but decided to start an outpatient program with a slightly different approach to the traditional hospital-based settings. He named the program after his sister Emily, who herself had recovered from an eating disorder.
This was back in the late 70s. She came back from studying abroad and was very underweight, 75 pounds, and our family was pretty panicked about what to do, how to help her with her eating disorder. And as we called around, tried to find programs or treatment, there really wasn't anything in the country. So I really have this commitment to, wanting to start, develop some kind of eating disorder treatments.
People generally fall into one of 3 categories: anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and eating disorder not otherwise specified, or EDNOS, which includes a spectrum of disorders, including compulsive overeating.
It was anorexia with bulimic tendencies.
Monica Sager is a former Emily Program client.
Like late 7th grade, I started kind of worrying about what I looked like, and ever since I was really little, had OCD tendencies, so just kind of control issues, and always was really driven in school and that whole perfection thing and getting good grades and stuff like that. So middle school is when things kind of started.
Though from the Seattle area, she had to search outside of the region to find a treatment program that would work for her.
We did not know what to do. There was some places in Oregon and Colorado, but my mom would have had to take a lot of time off work, and I wanted to be in school. I didn't want to miss a semester of school, so that was really important to me.
Monica was able to go to the Emily Program in St. Paul. And when she heard the Emily Program was opening up an office in Seattle, she knew she wanted to support it and get the word out about it.
The Emily Program is coming to Seattle and they want to get in contact with you. So they called me and I was like, I would love to be an advocate because I really, really believe in this program.
The Seattle office is located on Westlake Avenue on Lake Union. The staff has seen the client base grow rapidly.
We kind of had a plan of maybe starting the intensive programming 6 months out, and we started our intensive program 1 month out, so it has exceeded our expectations. As far as we realized there was a lack of services here, and we realized this was a niche that needed to be filled.
Shauna Kelly is the Seattle office community outreach coordinator. Feedback about the program has been positive.
One of the things that we've heard more often than not is that we meet clients where they're at, and so we individualize the program for them. We don't say to them when they come in, here's where we need you to be. We say, okay, here's where you're at, and here's what we can offer you at that place. And so we may have someone who needs more intensive services or a higher level of care, but they're not ready. And so we meet them there and try to get them ready for that higher level of care.
Jenny Hermanson is a therapist with the Emily Program. With experience at a number of hospitals and programs in the area, she sees eating disorder care options expanding.
I think they're doing a lot more research about eating disorders now, so there's more understanding in that way, so that more ideas on how to treat eating disorders, because they can be complicated to work with in terms of needing a longer term phase. For instance, we really believe in individualized care and really the base of treatment starting with outpatient. People really need that kind of longer term relationship with a therapist that helps them address not only behavioral pieces that they're struggling with, but just their relationship issues and self-esteem and other themes that kind of keep them stuck, like perfectionism or all or nothing thinking.
And while the Emily Program has created an additional option to treat eating disorders, The field is starting to see different types of clients seeking treatment.
Usually we think of eating disorders as a upper middle class white woman's disease, someone who is, maybe between the ages of 21 and 26. And so there is a stereotype, for lack of a better word, but I think it's a stereotype because those may have been people in the past who were able to seek treatment. What we're seeing is a rise in people who are second generation. So maybe they're first generation, their parents are first generation. They moved to this country and they're trying to incorporate their culture and our culture, and it can be very confusing and disconcerting. And then I think with men, it has been seen traditionally as a woman's disease. And so the statistics for men are rising because more men are reporting, but it's still a tenth of the statistics that you see for women.
Given the overall demand for help, the Emily program could have opened anywhere in the country, but Seattle was a good fit for their approach.
We like it here, and we think that will be of help to people here. That's what we do, is we hold the hope for them until they're ready to take it, and we help them to know that it doesn't have to be as hard as they think it is, and that it's worth it.
It's a very exciting program in terms of being able to meet people where they're at. So whereas we have a variety of approaches that we can take, we really try to understand what each person's unique need is. And so in that way we're following their lead.
No, I just highly recommend the program. I really, really do. I think it can save lives, and I think if anyone out there feels like they have even just a little problem, it might be more than you think, and should really contact the Emily program.
Watch CityStream Thursday nights at 7 on the Seattle channel, or get video on demand and podcasts anytime at seattlechannel.org.